When I left you in the last episode here from Sri Lanka, we were heading to an authentic village in the forest.
Left side Peter, right side Makma, language. Let's go this Hajaha.
You might remember that I was steering the bullock cart on the way there.
Stop this hoe. Hoe?
Break. Yeah.
Huh?
After that, we walked a bit more.
What kind of crop is it?
That's rice.
That is
Paddy,
rice.
yeah, paddy field rice.
Okay.
Down to the river, where catamaran canoes took us across. And then, after a bit more walking, we got to a small house with a grass roof.
Meet Palebo, a digital nomad from Denmark on an epic journey around the world. This is the Radio Vagabond podcast.
Inside was a smiling Sri Lankan woman about to cut a coconut in half with a big knife.
This coconut water is very nutrition. If you want, you can drink. See, lot of minerals. Anyone can taste.
I got to taste a bit of the coconut milk.
Minerals, very healthy. Natural. Try.
And then she starts grinding the inside of the coconut on a piece of metal at the end of a stick she was sitting on. Very old-fashioned and authentic.
Who would like to try first?
I'll try.
The desiccated coconut falls down on a banana leaf. It looks so easy the way she does it, and yet we can see that she's done this like 1,000,000 times before.
Okay.
You have to sit on it.
Oh, okay.
We realized just how hard it was after Joanna and Viola from the group tried to do it as well. We realized that this is just the right touch. And with all due respect to Joanna and Viola, they just didn't have that touch. Then we go outside where there's a big stone. She puts some chili and salt on the stone and starts grinding with another stone about the size of a loaf of bread. She grinds it a bit and adds the desiccated coconut, some onion, and some lemon.
Take these chilies and salt and this onion and lemon. Okay?
And then she grinds some more. She scoops this with her hands back to the banana leaf and lets us taste a bit.
Wow.
Yeah, spice, little bit spicy, but even bread, you can eat bread with this. Western is culture, mix of bread and sambal.
This is just a small part of the meal that awaits us.
Traditional Sri Lankan foods. These foods are cooked by using firewood, not from gas or electric power. Candles.
Just to warm it now.
Yeah. Candles keep the food warm. You know how long it took? Very simple time. In only 5 minutes, no?
Yeah.
So when the husband comes to house and when he up or look for something for eat, and then wife and husband doesn't want to fight, no? Wife within 5-10 minutes make a sambal with rice. So life is going very peacefully.
Husband will be happy and wife will be happy and.
In the side of this house, there's the kitchen area. They cook over open fire, so no electricity, no gas, and there were 2 pots simmering out there. One with the drumstick curry and one with the rice. And then we were given a small plate made out of straw. And then a big leaf on top, and that is our plate. And now we're going to be eating the stuff that she grinded before with the coconut and the salt and chili and lemon. and with the rice and curry, drumstick curry chicken, and we're supposed to eat with our hands. Let me go and get some. Can you explain for me what all this is? Obviously, we have white rice here.
This white rice.
Yeah.
This red rice. Red rice means with the bark of the paddy.
Okay, but it's the same kind of rice. It's just done in another way.
No, same rice, but this is without bark. This is with the bark.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
And this is the curry of pumpkin.
Oh, it's pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
I was wondering what it was.
Yeah, that's pumpkin.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is green gram.
Green gram.
Green gram.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that is like dal. But it is they have grown it in the China cultivation.
Okay.
And this is jerkin, like cucumber.
Okay.
And this is the brinjal or eggplant.
Eggplant.
Brinjal.
Okay.
And this is green leaf.
Yeah.
It's grow in the soil. No, like a green. It's called green leaves.
Okay.
This chicken.
The chicken
and
curry.
Fry fish. Fry fish.
That's fish.
Yeah, this fish, fry fish. They have catch from lake.
Yeah.
Tanks. And papadang and this sambal.
Yeah. The stuff that she made with coconut.
Yeah.
And it's called
Sambal.
Okay.
Sambal.
Okay.
And this is stone apple.
Aha.
This is porridge of the paddy. Porridge of the paddy. When it grows like this.
Yeah.
And these are fruits, melon, annas, and these are sweets, sweet meats.
Yeah, that's it.
There are different type species of banana.
This is so delicious.
Yeah.
It looks a little bit like meatballs, but what is it?
This is completely flour of rice, sugar, some salt with milk, coconut milk.
Okay.
And then fry with the coconut oil. In Sri Lankan festival time, any special occasions, we make this. Like cakes in Western life.
It's so delicious.
Yeah, in Western, you are offering cakes, no? Like that, we may make sweet meat. This is called kaung, but special species of kaung. This is called narang kaung. Narang kaung. Then another kaung is there. Then there's like a tomb in that kaung.
On the way back to the bus, we sailed a bit more in those catamaran canoes. We followed the river onto a lake. Very quiet and peaceful and absolutely lovely. Visiting this small village in the forest, having the authentic Sri Lankan lunch, prepared like it's been done for centuries in a small hut with a grass roof, and eating with our hands was truly an experience. But the afternoon was about to get even better. We were going on an elephant safari.
Here in Sri Lanka, they don't have predator. Yeah, but in Africa, lions are eating elephants. But here in Sri Lanka, there is no predator for them. No lions here, madam. In the past, we had, before 100 years, we had, but now no lion. We have only leopards.
Now they are bears.
Yeah, only lion beer. You have tested one of the best alcohol in Sri Lanka, lion beer.
For the next couple of hours, we were driving around in a big area where close to 100 elephants were roaming freely, like they're supposed to. Okay, now it's time to get on my soapbox. Because if you followed me for a while, and especially heard my episodes from Chiang Mai in Thailand where I talk about this, you will know how I feel about elephant riding. You should never do that. Period. The elephant's back are not built for it, and it's just plain cruel to do so, in my opinion. A guy from the company that did the village experience and the elephant safari gave me his business card when we were having lunch. I noticed that the business card also said elephant riding. So I quietly went over to one of our guides and asked if this is something they do. He went and talked to him and got back to me and said, no, they've stopped doing that for more than a year ago. They just had more business cards that they had to use before printing new ones. To me, that was a total valid explanation, and I understood. I accepted that, and we went on the elephant safari. As I'm editing this episode, I visit the company's website and I see that they still have elephant riding on there. If they have stopped it, and of course I trust the guy and expect that they have, I find it kind of weird that they didn't remove those pages from the website. That's why I can't mention the name of the company, neither here or in the show notes, as I normally would, until I know for sure that they have stopped elephant riding. If you go to Sri Lanka, and please do because it's an amazing country, do the elephant safari, do the village experience, but do your best to make sure that you go with a company that doesn't do elephant riding. Be responsible. This might be a cultural thing, and don't get me wrong, I totally respect the Sri Lankan culture and that the people have to make money off tourists, but I simply can't support cruelty to animals. So I would never do elephant riding, I would never go to bullfighting, I would never go swimming with dolphins, like I did in the Bahamas before I knew better. All this is my own genuine opinion. I'll get down from the soapbox now. Before we continue, I just want to say a deep, heartfelt thank you to the people who wrote a review in iTunes or your podcast app. This means so much to me. The next day we start out in another place here in Sri Lanka with a name that is also very, very difficult to say. Here I am on the bus recording it for myself to remember how to say it. The place we're going to is called Polonnarua. Polonnarua. The ancient city of Polonnarua. The ancient city of Polonnarua is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the second most ancient of Sri Lanka's kingdoms. Polonnaru was first established by the Chola dynasty as their capital in 993. We're going to be riding bicycles around the area, and as we're standing at the side of the street waiting for the bikes, I talked to our guide Pradeep about the place, hoping to impress him with my pronunciation of Polonnaru. We're in I want to say that. We're in Polonnaru.
We are in Polonnaru.
Oh, damn it, I was so close.
Polonnaru.
And it's the second kingdom of...
Yeah, this is the second kingdom of Sri Lanka.
What does
The
that
first
mean?
kingdom was Anuradhapura. It was lasted 1000 years until 993 AD, and thereafter the capital was changed to Polonnaru because the king's power in Anuradhapura was not powerful, and also political situation was became chaotic.
What does that mean?
Chaotic means so many foreign invasions came to Anuradhapura.
Okay.
So king's power was very weak.
Yeah.
By that time, Polonnaru was very improved, very sufficient, agricultural and populated area. Therefore, the kingdom was shifted from Anuradhapura to Polonnaru.
Okay.
In the 993 AD.
Yeah. It was about the time that we had the Vikings in Denmark.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
can't wait for that. Let's get on the bike.
Today, the ancient city of Polonvaru remains one of the best planned archaeologic relic cities in the country that showcases the discipline and the greatness of the kingdom's first rulers. And as a fun fact, if you grew up in the 80s like me, this place was used as the backdrop of the Duran Duran music video Save a Prayer in 1982.
We did ride the bike, but only to the edge of the actual area, not within the area. So now we're walking around in this which is the ancient city of the kingdom of Polonvaru.
We are in Polonnaruwa.
Polonvaru. And the way I was introduced to it yesterday is that this is the Acropolis, the old Roman ruins. It is that for Sri Lanka. It's a bunch of old ruins that date back around 1,000 years, and it's beautiful to be here. It's also the most touristy place I've been so far in Sri Lanka. I keep getting approached by people who wants to sell me a map or a little wooden elephant or anything. But it's beautiful, and wow, there's a monkey right in the grass in front of me. He's got a cool haircut.
Oh yeah. Like Trump.
Yeah. It's a bit of a Trump haircut.
It's a beautiful place that also holds some beautiful statues.
These are masterpiece of statues. The first one is Buddha is meditation posture, and the second one is Buddha is preaching Dhamma in the heaven. And third one is a little bit different posture. It's called Paradukka Dukkita posture.
Paradukka Dukkiti.
Posture.
Okay.
Paradukka Dukkita posture.
Yeah.
As you can tell, I really enjoyed saying Paradukidi Dukidi posture. I found it a lot easier than saying Polonvaru. Hey, I did it. When we come back, we're in for a surprise. We're just going to lunch, and then something surprising turned up at the outskirts of a forest. I had no idea this was going on, but now we're in a tuk-tuk. It's dressed up with a lot of balloons. I have received another letter from a listener. This one's from John in South Dakota. Hi, Palle. Here I am driving around on the fields of my dad's farm in South Dakota. One of my jobs is to drive around making sure that our cows are okay. It's a big area, so it can become a bit boring. And that's where I enjoy listening to your adventures. It makes time pass quickly, and it gives me an inspiration for my upcoming trip to Asia. I'm going with my best friend from high school. We're both 27, and it's our first big trip outside of the US. After we both heard your first episodes from Sri Lanka, we've decided to go there. Thanks for the inspiration, Palle. Keep up the good work, John. Thank you so much for your email, John, and I'm glad that I could inspire you guys. Please let me know how the trip went after you've been to Sri Lanka. And by the way, John, when you're looking for a place to stay, consider using hotels25.com. Here you can find the best prices on hotels, hostels, and guest houses all around Sri Lanka.
Hotels25.com.
If you also want to send me an email telling me what you're doing right now, please use this special email address for this, listener@theradiovagabond.com.
This is the Radio Vagabond podcast.
Next on the agenda was lunch at Hotel Sigiriya, with a magnificent view of the iconic Sigiri Rock. The rock, or mountain itself, holds an ancient rock fortress and is nearly 200 meters, 660 feet high. We're to climb it in the afternoon. But first we're going to lunch. And boy, were we in for a surprise. First, we stop at the edge of a forest. and there are quite a few tuk-tuks waiting for us. They're all decorated with flowers and balloons. One of the drivers greets me and points at his tuk-tuk.
Yeah, okay. All right.
For fun, I took his seat in the front just to see the look on his face.
I just wanted to see your face. Yes, I needed to see your face. No.
It was priceless.
No problem, you can do.
That would be a lot of fun. I had no idea this was going on, but now we're in a tuk-tuk. It's dressed up with a lot of balloons. I'm not exactly sure where we're going, but we're inside a forest, and it's a lot of fun.
After a short drive, we get into this luxury hotel and are greeted by local music and dances that take us to the back of the garden, passing the pool. Here we could experience how people were preparing the traditional food in the old-fashioned, authentic way, like we saw in the village earlier. I asked the general manager of the hotel, Suresh, to explain where we are.
We are actually in the center of the cultural triangle. The hotel is Hotel Sigiriya, and also we have a nice swimming pool up there. While you are dipping, you can still see the Sigiriya rock. People who don't want to climb Sigiriya rock.
That's the unique
That's unique in this part of the area.
To explain it to people who haven't seen it, it's a huge rock in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
We are in the back garden, you can say, of the hotel. We passed the swimming pool, and down here you built an outdoor kitchen.
We do actually. Now you would see we have made the atmosphere like traditional Sri Lankan village sort of a kitchen here, where Sri Lankan is quite popular for traditional curry. As you see, chefs are really busy with making some curries, and like they are trying to spoil you out today.
Yeah.
With all.
And I see that people have already started taking food, so I'm hoping they're leaving something for me.
I'm sure. Yes, you will have something. Yes. But you got to be fast because the foods are really tasty.
Yeah. We're sort of not at the coastline, but we're in the middle of the island, and still a lot of people come visit this part of Sri Lanka.
Most actually, I would say about 90% of the visitors who come into Sri Lanka, they don't miss out this area, because there are plenty of things to be done in this part of the island. Hiking, and there are the rocks and the mountains, and bird watching. There are plenty of bird watching. We do have a naturalist in-house, and who will take you around, and you will see about nearly about 100 varieties of birds here. Even during the vicinity, even within the vicinity, you do see that. And elephants, and plenty of night animals.
On the way here, there was an elephant walking on the road as well.
That's quite normal.
That's quite normal.
It is.
For us, it's maybe a dog, or in some countries, it's maybe a cow.
But in the dark, you
would
you will see plenty of them are here.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
But no harm, and they get used to it. Like people who are passing the road, and no harm.
Suresh, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Phil.
Make sure to go to theRadioVagabond.com to see pictures of this unique place. Before I wrap up, I want to remind you that I also co-host another podcast about travel.
Welcome to Travel Matters, the official podcast of T-Bex.
It's called Travel Matters, and it's the official podcast from T-Bex, the global gathering of travel content creators.
How did it happen?
Well, we decided to retire early after going on a vacation to Guatemala, and we met some expats. We found out that we could live someplace other than the United States on probably maybe 50% or 25% of what it costs to live in the U.S.
Yep.
And so we came back, and he did the math.
I did the math right away. I said, you know what? I said, we could retire now if we moved to another country at 25% the cost of the living of the United States.
If you want to hear the entire interview, just search for Travel Matters wherever you listen to podcasts.
After an amazing lunch and a wonderful experience at Hotel Sigiri, I'm now about to climb the Sigiri rock itself. And it's right in front of my eyes now, and it looks like a long way up. I've been told there are 1,112 steps. I'm not going to be counting, but that is kind of the equivalence of 75 floors as far as I could figure out. To get into this area, there's an entrance fee, and for foreigners it's 28 euros. For the locals, 25 euro cent. 25 cent. It's 5,500 rupees for foreigners and 50 rupees for the locals. So a bit of a difference. But I feel that's okay. Otherwise there would be only tourists here from outside of Sri Lanka and not giving the people from this country an opportunity to see their own country. So I think that's a good thing.
It was a bit of a hike, but the highlight of the day to get up there. I felt I was on the rooftop of Sri Lanka, being on Sigiri, walking around the ruins with an astonishing view as the sun was slowly setting. I highly recommend that you man up and go up there when you get to Sri Lanka.
This is the Radio Vagabond podcast.
The Radio Vagabond is partly supported by Hotels25.com, and the trip to Sri Lanka was made possible by Sri Lanka Tourism. But everything I've said in this episode is my own genuine opinion. You can see more on srilanka.travel. The Radio Vagabond is produced by radioguru.co.uk, and on the radiovagabond.com you can see pictures and find the links to everything I mentioned. We have one more episode here from Sri Lanka, and one of the things that is truly fantastic is driving on the train, hanging out of the doors across the island. My name is Palabo, and I gotta keep moving. See ya.